Welcome to this beautiful platform. We are talking to young women who are determined to change their communities. These wonderful young women have started their own initiatives with nothing but aiming to change their communities. Through determination and proper mentorship, we believe that they are going far.
Every woman deserves to be in a peaceful and a secure space.
Women are socialized to have different roles.
Any action that you do, you must be ready to pay the price.
They have commercialized our bodies in every aspect of life.
You're beautiful before even a man tells you that.
So welcome back to the Passing the Baton podcast. This is where we speak everything women, and today we will just be tackling the conversation on climate change. And with me here are amazing panelists whom I'll allow to introduce themselves so that I don't miss out on anything or add something that is not them. So karibuni sana to my panelists, and I will start with our mom today or right now. So please tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi everyone, this is Gladys Nahulo, a retired civil servant and agri-nutrition trainer. I do community work. I mentor girls. Okay.
Amazing. Yes, our young girl. Tell us who you are.
Hi everyone, my name is Stacey Akinyi. I'm a student at Multimedia University pursuing Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Computer Science. I am an SRHR advocate. I'm also a mentor at Polycom Girls, and I'm also passionate about climate change justice. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Aribu. On to my right now.
Jambo, my name is Mwanaisha Rashid. I'm a creative writer, a feminist, a mentor, an entrepreneur, and I love everything that deals with women and community. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Esther Msavi, a community leader, a champion for people with disability, and a champion in climate change and justice.
Awesome. As you can see, they're in green, so you better be ready for the climate change discussions. So to start us off, we're going to do an icebreaker. And the icebreaker is, if you were to choose between floods and heat wave, what would you choose between floods and heat waves, and why? And then to follow it up, what would be a superpower? So they are both extremes, yeah? But if you had a superpower, which one would you have to control, the heat waves or the floods? Yes, Esther?
I'll choose floods because I cannot control the heat waves. For floods, I can really work on mitigation so that women are prepared in the community when we are about to receive the heavy rains in our communities.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Aisha?
Personally, too, I'll choose floods because from the slums, there's some things that wewe kama umetoka kwa slums, kuna vitu unaweza fanya, maybe move in with a friend ukiona uko karibu in a dump or something, ama kutengeneza hizo nitwangaje tumulima. I think I'll choose that, and if I had a superpower, maybe invisible.
Oh wow, the superpower is to save yourself. Yes. Okay, not the community. Esther, what was your superpower? Well, we can pass for now. Okay, yes, Mom.
Yeah, if I found myself in the two situations, I'd prefer floods because I grew up in Budalangi and I know how to floods. Because they're also just seasonal, but I don't know how long they last.
So now that you're from Budalangi, you know how to curb floods. Now tell us, if you're in some other very intense climate change situations, what is one superpower you would want to have?
To help solve the
yes.
One superpower would be somebody, like if I was in that situation that night, I think the superpower would be somebody who would save me that night.
Yeah.
Because that particular night, I don't know if I would survive. Because wherever you'd be, the water mainly comes at night.
Mm-hmm.
So you can easily, so anybody who would lift you out of there is a superpower.
Nice. Yes, Stacey?
As for me, I will go against everyone. I'm going to choose extreme heat waves. Simply because, let's say, when we look at the agricultural sector, we have some plants that can survive in extreme heat, in the arid and semi-arid areas. And a superpower that I will choose is the ability and the capability to reduce the radioactive waves, the intensity of the waves. So as for me, that would be my superpower, to reduce it, because with that, there are, let's say, study has shown that many crops that are grown mostly survive in high temperatures and middle temperatures. The ones that survive in the low temperatures are like pyrethrum, which are very expensive to plant. So my superpower will be to reduce the concentration of the heat waves, so that we can have a community where we're able to plant things, and they're able to grow as per what we want them to grow into, and use them in our daily lives.
Mnaona evidence-based advocacy.
Yeah.
So Ma'am Gladys, we've said we are having an intergenerational conversation. So to mean, while you started, we were not there. So we want to know, how was it then? How was climate change then?
Things are very different from now, because those days the rains were just programmed. Everything was just programmed. So the rainy season, the dry season. So and people were able to prepare for it. Unlike today, so hot, then suddenly the rains come. So it was very different then. Then we also understood and knew what to, this is planting season. So people will be preparing land in advance. But you see, nowadays, you may even prepare land and the rains don't come. Or when you're just preparing land, waiting for the rains don't come, or they delay, or they come earlier.
Awesome. And so maybe because we are aligning, today's conversation is more on the side of women. How do you think women were affected back then? Matters climate change.
I can say women were the main agriculture, because they're the ones who would plow land, all that. So women, it was easier for women then, because whatever they planted, they were able to harvest at least something. Yes. Unlike today, when they are not even sure when to prepare land, because the rains come before they are ready. And then those days also, there was even space to grow the food and all that. But now there is even no space. Much as they may be willing, they are not able to do much.
Okay. I don't know, maybe I'll pose it to the youngins. Do you think the challenges that women faced then, from what she's saying, do you think the challenges women are facing today, matters climate change, are still the same? And maybe you can cite for us examples.
It will be extreme nowadays, because everywhere it's development. Even in the ushagos where we went there kujifunza kulima, everywhere is development. Everyone is building something. So the land sai iko kidogo kabisa. And in economic wise, I'm a woman who is very into business. Nowadays, if you're starting up your own business, maybe kuuza ndala, kuuza dera, climate ina to affect design gani. You see, yesterday, I was on my shop and it started raining and I had orders to deliver. And sasa venye uko na hizo order mingi za kudeliver, you can't. Kwa sababu watu wa nduthi, watakupatia bei ingine, hata wewe mwenyewe utaogopa kwa sababu kunanyesha. People won't come to your shop. They rather stay at home for their safety. If you look at matter agriculture, nowadays unapata agriculture sahii ndo iko juu. That's where we're getting our own money as women. But fertilizers unazipata ziko high sahi. Unapata like people who owned lands there in Langata wenye walikuwa wanalima wanatuletea tunauza land yao ilishachukuliwa with the government. Ukiangalia sahi kuna jengwa an estate. Maji sahi iko very kidogo. Kama if you're from Kibera like me, kuna hizi water cartels where you get a place where I come from, Lindi, atupati maji in a week. Ina increase issues of sexual harassment. Unaenda pale unapanga laini, unaambiwa kama unataka kuchota maji, tunaitanga ya kupitisha, tunaita faster way, VIP way, unalipa mbao. Kama una hiyo mbao, unakuambia you can do this for me, you can do this for me. Yani they just get an opportunity to kuingiza matamanio yao. Yeah, I can really say that right now iko really extreme. Yeah.
Okay. And Stacey, I believe you have you're somehow conversant with the WASH projects, which is sanitation, maji, and we understand that climate change has played a big role, especially in the informal settlements, of women not having water. What would you have to say on that?
Oh yeah, the WASH programs, I've heard of them. Yeah, I've been part of them too. To speak about climate affecting the water accessibility, yeah. I can say, let's say when water is not there, and as a girl from the Kibera informal settlements, let's say you want to access water, and we all know that girls need to take a bath daily. Girls use a lot of water. They consume a lot of water. Yes. You see, like when you want to calculate the liters, it's too much. So we need to have water in the houses. But when you go to fetch the water, because in our homes, it is the girl who takes the jerrycans to the tap, you fetch, then you call. If you have a male in the house, they come carry it. So when you go with your water or your jerrycans to fetch the water, you find, let's say the one selling the water is a male person. So they're like, if you want water, or you can do this, you can give me this in exchange for you to get the water. If the water is not like readily available, because some days there's no water in the taps at all, so it's very dry. Or sometimes when you bend, you want to, now you're opening the tap to put your jerrycan, just find someone has brushed through and touched your butt, and it's sexual harassment, and it should not be that way. You find that after you've fetched your water, and then someone just what is it called, like blinks the eye,
winking at you.
Someone winks at you, or they just stare at you once you're going to fetch that water, and then they're just asking for something in return so that you can fetch the water when it's not there and you really need it in the house. So it's been a challenge, even though we have some tanks that usually bring the water so you can just go, but before you get that water you will have to give something in return.
Women are affected when it comes to access to water by both seasons. I'll start with the rain season. When it is raining, there's a lot of flood everywhere. So it leads to contamination of water because the pipes are broken, the water is flowing everywhere. So there is no clear channel of water for women to access it when it is clean. So at the end of the day, there is spread of diseases like cholera to women, and whatever the money they had to spend on food, it is going to be spent on the hospital cases. And again, when there is no rain, there is a long droughts. Again, there is no water for women to access it. So leading to women being exposed to violence, especially sexual harassment. This is because they have to wake up very early in the morning. That is from, 4 p.m., 4 a.m. in the morning with their girls. So they go to access water along the corridors. Before you reach the water point, along the way you are being attacked by someone, maybe thieves or people who want to harass girls. So girls are being violated sexually, and women also, they're being violated sexually, or even their money that they are going to spend on water, it is being taken away. So both seasons affect women. So it is our duty to ensure that women access water by advocating for it to the government.
Esther, I also would want you to also feed into this. There's a project we did some time with, in partnership, I think, with or Polycom did in partnership with Umande Trust, which was called Stop Sex for Water. And I know it's something, before you hear it, you'd assume that everyone gets water. And because we are doing evidence advocacy also in these conversations, would you just tell us the things that transpired so that this project would start? And
So we need a collective energy across the community, including all the stakeholders in the community, to advocate for water. Women and girls should come out and talk to the local government about the distribution of water in time and a continuous distribution of clean water to the community, so that these girls and women are able to access this water without hassle. We don't have to walk for long looking for water because there is time wasted in between. This girl has to get the water in the morning so that she will come back, shower, then go to school. But if she spends all the time looking for water, at the end of the day, they will not go to school in time. And these women will also not go for economic activities because she has not accessed the water in the house. Women, we need water to shower so that we get out of our homes. So it is a collective energy that everyone needs to be there to advocate for water through our local government, so that we make the availability of water for all in time. Yes.
Thank you so much. And so, Ma'am Gladys, while you're starting, you said something about it was not that bad back then. But maybe I'll just feed into that project. So the project came about because there was data that girls are having transactional sex for money. I mean, it's not for money, for water. Yeah, very diabolical. And this was a reality for quite some time until there was an intervention through these organizations. What are the things? Because what are the things that you think we as the young ones who are also champions in climate change would do to stop such things? Of course, it's not only water. We also know of extreme, for example, now there are jobs that have stopped because kila mahali kuna jengo, it's infrastructure. Maybe it was a shamba where women used to work, but now their jobs have been taken away. So now they have to resort to things that honestly we cannot talk about even freely. Yeah. So what are the things that we can adapt as us to fight climate change?
Just to add on the water issue.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be having a water issue in Kenya. Because look at the rains. Look at the water that is flowing down. We have a lot of water. It's just that we have different priorities. So those who are advocating for the improvement, they should just persist, because we just need to harvest this water. It is stored well so that even in those dry months we have water, or even in these rainy times, this water is somewhere where it can still flow back to our homes. We just need that reorganization. So the advocacy should continue. And what I can say is that our priorities are very different. Like he said, we need more water. Women or girls need more water. People will wonder water for what? Yeah. But it is a basic need. So those who are fighting just need to continue fighting. But I know we have enough water. It just needs to be reorganized so that it flows back now to the homes. Yeah.
Aisha, you are a climate change champion. She has said she doesn't think we need to have water issues. What are some of the things you think as a climate change champion would do to like gava kuna maji, ni nini mnafanya?
I think it's upon the government also. I think ni bidii ya government inafai kukuwa imetiliwa maanani, because if you look at an organization, a certain organization in Kibera, it's working wonders.
Yeah.
It's doing a lot in the issue of water. In a PTRD government that we are paying taxes for us, for them to do that work for us. So this organization, this is what it does. Inapitisha pipe all over Kibra. So ikipitisha pipe in each area or in each ward kuna a free water, and that water you're paying 5 shillings for 10 liters of waters, 20 liters of water, which is very cheap. So if that organization can do that, that's a question mark to our government, because it's not the organization that we put on power for them to help us. So it's upon the government to either partner with that organization if they see that work is really hard for them to partner with that organization for each ward to have water. And I can agree with Mom here that if that organization can put that water in different wards, meaning we don't have an issue with water. We have an issue of how the water can be supplied. So if that organization has already came up with an idea or has already come up with a design of kufanya Kibera yote mzima ikuwe na maji each ward, it's upon the government to just top up ama kuborrow your idea, because they can't supply water in every ward, because it's an organization not funded by the government. It's funded by people outside our country. So it's ni kama kupatia tu kompe kwa government. If they can do that, what will they do for us? Pia si tuone wanafanya kazi, because if you walk kwa hizo slums za Kibera, if you ask about water, you'll only hear that organization being mentioned.
I hear you. Okay. Now I want us to remove our minds from water, because climate change is it's very big. And now tunasikianga, oh yes, maybe truly they might not be doing the work. I'm the neutral person in this case. But what is it that I, Marlene, should do from my home? Like, what is the charity I'm beginning in my home? Like, what am I doing? Sawa, gava ifanyi hii. But wewe kama wewe unaweza jitetea useme, this is what I'm playing into. Or if for example is the how we dispose things. Yes, genuinely you want to dispose takataka vizuri, but gava haijaeka hizi vitu in place. Ni sawa. But what are we doing ourselves too? Because pia gava yezifanya kila kitu again. You see? So what are we challenging ourselves? You as a climate change champion.
So personally, there is something me and my youth friend tumeanzisha hapo Lindi. It's called Keep Us Safe. So after a training I attended of climate change, and I learned that it's up to us, because we can't wait on the government. So this is what we do. When it's raining, tunachukua mabati zenye zineza teka maji, and we tell people around mteke maji, because there's an organization again that has given a bucket that can filter water for drinking. So if we can take hiyo maji ya mvua, we can boil it and also use it. And also tunapeana karatasi, these paper bags for keeping uchafu. So usimwage kwa mtaro, weka kwa paper bag, we will take it on Saturday and then we'll take it to the dump site. So because we can't wait for the government as youth, and as Gen Z, we've become problem solvers. We've stopped complaining. So it's also up to other youths, kwa pali unaishi eneo unaishi tu, anzisha hata kama utakuwa unatake kama utakuwa unapetiana gunia moja, watu wa ploti wakuwa wanaeka takataka, because if waki later, it will affect you, it will affect your kid, it will affect your sister. So it's upon you also to have these small initiatives.
Esther, you work with women closely. What are some of the things that you, I believe you're also a climate change champion. What are these things that these women are doing to make this conversation lighter? Because gava ijafanya, and because women are wao ndio wanasuffer most with climate change, how are they inviting these conversations in their home that, by the way, there needs to be climate justice?
Thank you so much. At the homestead level, women have been empowered to harvest water in their big containers when it is raining, so that during the drought season, they will use that water for their own consumption. And also, we are urging the government to actively work on water harvesting. Why is all our water going to River Nile? And we have the capacity of harvesting this water. We are asking the government to construct more dams so that they can harvest this water to be consumed during the drought season. And women that we work with in the community, we have an organization by the name Kibera Women for Peace and Fairness. And it is our duty, whenever we are called upon to go for tree planting exercise, that all of us should go. Do not wait to be paid. No one will pay you to take care of your environment, because this environment is going to serve you. So it is our duty to urge all the women voluntarily, go and plant a tree, go and make sure that your tree is growing. After planting the tree, you should go back and check on it, water it. Make sure that your tree is growing and should be proud of it, but not just staying at home, waiting everything to be done for you, and then you start complaining. We are also actively participating in cleaning exercise, that is cleaning the sewer systems, those rivers that are crossing in Kibera. So it is our duty to clean. When you're called upon, Kibera Women for Peace must come out and participate in cleaning the environment, so that our climate will be good at the end of the day.
So, Ma'am Gladys, I love that you've spoken about tree planting. And today, kila mahali, like wanaitanga Nairobi shamba la
Mawe.
Nisiwa Nairobi shamba la mawe. Yes. What are the repercussions to cutting down trees?
Planting trees does a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, it conserves the soil. This soil is healthy. You know, once the soil is eroded, it's not just the soil that will. After the soil, what follows? Even buildings may go. And then the trees also attract rain. As you're saying, you are in our Maliza. Yeah. Also, it makes also the area cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the trees are being cleared for many reasons. For construction, for farming, and all that. But we still need them. We can still plant trees, the spaces we have. They save a lot.
Yeah, so with the population rate that is rising, like on the second, is it wrong for people to cut down trees and build houses? Because it's also a need in itself. And if it's okay, where are these people gonna plant these trees?
You see, they are cutting down trees, but they are not cutting down trees everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We once had an official at the Nairobi City Council who planted trees, and those trees thrived very well. They were cut when now we were improving on our roads.
Yeah.
We still have empty spaces. What are we doing with those empty spaces? We can still plant trees, like along the roads. Yes, we still have those.
Okay.
I can say the problem of lack of tree planting is not so much lack of space, but is more of lack of the right information or that fact. Because we have not been trained to grow those trees. That's why you see even small kids, like you hear, this young boy is a champion of planting trees, and he is really valued highly. Not because we lack space. We have space. We have those small spaces. Are they full? We can still plant those trees.
Oh.
Like even if you put up a house and you have a small compound, you can still put up a tree. And you don't just put up any tree, you can also put up beneficial trees, like fruit trees, where you have a tree playing the positive environmental role, and you're also getting fruit from it.
Yeah.
So it's not an excuse. We just have to change our attitude and appreciate trees. We can still do something.
Mm-hmm.
We have not finished all the spaces.
Yeah.
I saw, when we cut trees, we cut it for many reasons, and also making books for kids. So I saw a young woman that I really talked to. she owns the company inatoa vitabu. So instead of cutting more trees to make books, this is what they do. They go back. You remember those old books that we use? So they recycle them to make new books. I think that should be emphasized. Just to reuse what we are having, not to cut more trees, because buildings zitaendelea kujengwa, so we need to reuse and also plant more trees. Just to add on that.
Okay, now I'd want us to go to our daily bread, the meals. How safe are the foods we are eating today? And maybe just to feed into GMO, and maybe I'd ask Stacey now. Stacey, maybe now in the informal settlement, how available is mboga ya kienyeji, and how affordable is it? And maybe just to pause, what are the implications of climate injustice on the foods we are eating today? Because you're an expert in this, we want to give our thoughts, and then you will correct us, or you will add on to what we say. Okay. Yes.
As for me, actually, I have a foundation in agriculture. So I would say that we say that when crops are grown, we need the manure. And there are some people who use feces like manure. So I was in a school where there was a tree that was growing in the sewage, a tree of avocado, and there's another tree that grows away from the sewage. So this tree that grows in the sewage produces good-looking avocados, and they were sweet with nutrients. And the other one, the nini, hiyo kitu ya katikati was bigger than the flesh part, you see. So as for me, I'll say that when chemicals are used to grow, like to produce the kales and the stuff, they come out just the same as when you use a manure, so you won't know the difference. So I'll say that sometimes we may be consuming good things or bad things because they are the same. But you see that when we use like access to the kales over hizo mboga za kienyeji, they are not that accessible, because you can go somewhere you want mto, mrenda, then you don't find them, or you find them and they're really expensive than the normal kales. This is sukuma wiki and cabbages. And then the sukuma wiki and cabbages, sometimes you may find zenye ziko na a big surface area, like it's really pleasing to the eye. But sometimes when we are in the slums, we just say that naishi tu kwa imani ya Mungu, because you can be consuming what is harmful to you without knowing, because they really look the same for the GMOs and the chemicals that are used to make them mature earlier. So for me, I just say that if you're doing the exercises, even if you're eating things, you don't know if they're really healthy, because it's not easy to identify them with the bare eyes. You can look at some of like you see the leaf, you see the stalk. Yeah, there's just some things that you use them, or you can use some skills to identify if it is a normal one or a one that has been chemically infiltrated. So that is for me.
Sasa nimechelewa, nimetoka hapa 10 p.m. naenda kutafuta mboga original. How do I do it? How do I do it? I'm Gladys, because I think is it realistic to say I'll go niangalie nyanya? In fact, hiyo kubwa ndio mimi nataka. Niko like hii itafika chakula mingi. So how do we go about this?
If the best advice I would give you is the best grow your own food. Like even those, see, like she was saying, they have organized the way they collect waste and all that. If they can compost that waste, they'll get manure, safe manure to grow your own food. But as long as you're not growing your own food, even if you came at 5 in the evening, you'd still not be able to buy safe food. Especially in Nairobi, it's very difficult unless you go to bus station and meet those lorries coming from Kisii or something. It's not very easy to identify.
Okay.
And some people will even look at, he's talking of the big leaves of sukuma wiki. Some people even insist on the small leaves. The small leaves of sukuma wiki grow from this sukuma wiki that grows like sticks, you know, the long ones. But even those ones, some of them are still in the wrong places. So as she says, tunaishi kwa imani, not just in the slums alone, generally Nairobi. Unless you choose the market to go to, you go to the market. But even if you came at 5 and bought those vegetables, they are the same ones somebody coming at 10 is going to buy, because soko ni sawa.
Yeah.
Ni ile moja tu. Yeah.
So Esther, you've done something around kitchen gardens, I believe, with the women. For example, mtu anasema sasa mimi naishi Nairobi, sina shamba, na Mam Gladys ananiambia I need to plant my own food because we are not, like, in whose hands are we safe? What are some of the projects you've done? Hauna shamba lakini bado sukuma yako inaendelea.
Okay, thank you so much. With women at Polycom, we've learned so much about kitchen gardening, so that we may produce our own food and save the money that we had for buying vegetables. We do it with other things. So we've been trained on sack gardening, corn gardening, and through our exchange program with other women in other sub-counties, through Wairo project, we've learned so much on using organic manure instead of using the chemicals. So we are sure that we are eating safe food when we pluck it from our sack gardens rather than buying it from the market.
For the listener who is listening, what is something they can do to contribute to this climate justice we are crying about each day?
Okay, we need to learn about mitigation measures on how to prevent those floods or those droughts. For example, if I'm about to experience the long drought season, during my rain season, I should learn how to preserve food for that period. So there are so many people out there teaching women on how to preserve food, that the food that can be used, including vegetables and seeds, you can preserve the food and use it in those seasons. And other mitigation measures, for example, if you are about to receive long rains, I believe, and I've seen it in media, people being warned about long rains that are coming. So we need to prepare ourselves. If you are living in the lower regions, you need to start moving to the upper regions so that you may be safe with your children. Don't sit there and wait to be swept away by water. Just move to the upper regions. So when the rain comes down, you will go back to your home. And from our young girl here, she has taught us about grow crops that survive in long droughts, like the cotton wool and other crops. So these crops, even if it is not food type crop, you can sell it and be able to purchase food in future. So it's just about playing around with the season, learn on how learn about mitigation measures, learn about adaptation to these seasons.
Yeah. Maybe I can just ask, you've said something about mtu anafaa ajue kukinyesha, sasa nahamia huku. Who is this who's disseminating this information?
There are so many people who disseminate information, including the local government and some organizations like the Red Cross. You'll see the messages in our phones warning us, like I received a message last week, but one, warning us to move to upper regions, that there are long rains that are coming. So when you see such a message, just try and move. Don't wait for death for your children and yourself.
For me, I'll just say that the change starts with you. So there's this video of, we were shown in a certain training, people are in the beach, and this guy puts on music and he starts dancing, the first guy. And then the second guy joins him, and then the whole crowd joins him. So it's by you. So don't litter around. You can just start with that simple gesture.
Habits.
Because I have a friend, Marlene, that she won't allow you to throw litters everywhere. So it just starts with you. When it's raining, teka hiyo maji, onyesha watu watatu ama wawili venye unaweza ifanya, unaweza recycle na uitumie kwa kukunywa. Kama uko in a community and you've gone for this training, this is what I do. I go for this training, learn 3 things or 2, come back. Uko kwa base, uko wapi, unaongea na mabeste, waambie unajua hivi na hivi ukifanya inasaidia climate change. Tuko in the era of social media. There's this guy in TikTok, he calls himself the guy who cleans. He walks around, akipata uchafu ateka kwa paper bag abebe. So you can be the change. Wherever you are, uko kwa platform gani, just talk about climate change. Bring these issues that matters when you're having these conversations with friends.
And maybe I'll go back to Ma'am Gladys. What are the income generating activities that we can do to like Tumekama, for example, would be chupa. I saw there are people who they sijui wanazifanya aje, but then they make bags from it. Are there avenues that allow me, sasa nimeshatengeneza hizo bags, you who is an expert, are there like, what can I say, boots or what, expos, ni expos, sindio? Would you know of any expos? Because there's so much around recycling, there's so much around, for example, I know one of our ladies who akikuja meeting, she carries the chupas because she sells juice. Yeah.
Exposed to sell what you make, or exposed?
Yes, like sasa, there's so much information around recycling.
Okay.
Where do I take the things I've recycled?
I think it's very easy for you people, especially young people. The biggest expo is online. And I tell people, don't go online. Don't open the online shop. You don't have enough supply. Yeah, that is the biggest expo. Start that fast. Because you see, like these other expos, if we, like at KICC, they'll want you to pay like 30,000 for a booth. So me, I think as young people, the best would be to use the online space. And maybe just to add what she said, the change starts through those small things.
Yeah.
I tell people when I go to workshops that this year when you're buying your mom a gift for Christmas, don't buy that dress you always buy. Just save enough money for a tank, for a water harvesting tank. And if we all harvested water, it would be very easy.
Yeah.
And as Esther was saying, how they sensitize people on preparing for the rains to come. You may even have structures on your house, but they may not work in the rain. Because one, the gutters are blocked. Some systems are blocked. Open up so that when the water comes.
I think something else as I was doing my research, I learned about something about commodity trading. And because you're in the, I believe you're more leaned towards food. What is commodity trading? We want to take it from you who has been here for a while.
I don't know what kind of
commodity, like let's say for example now, this is a farmer, like Esther is a farmer, she's planting maize, but she doesn't know where to sell it. Now we as the young people are coming to her and we are like, unajua tunaweza kuuzia hii mahindi yako. Yeah. Ama hii ni, you're learning from us. Like,
no, I
you know it.
Yeah.
So how can people leverage on this? How can young people leverage on this? Tunasikia hakuna kazi, tadadadada. Are there farmers who are actually just willing to get people who would help them sell their produce?
Yeah, farmers are there. They are not even willing. They actually lost, like in the wilderness. They don't know where to sell them. So you see, like you come in, like normally when they harvest maize, the average price is even 2,000 shillings per bag. And maybe Nairobi, people are buying maize for 5,000 shillings.
Yeah.
So you just need to have that kind of connection. So long as you have a good system that can be trusted. Because we also have a lot of fun people around. Yeah, a lot of scammers. So commodity training is happening, especially for fresh foods. Like in Nairobi, a lot of young people are doing it.
Okay.
They are connecting farmers to the consumers. And it's really paying people.
Yeah.
Like maybe from the farmer. In fact, especially when you agree with the farmer, like you'll buy at 20 shillings a kilo, but now when you are selling, maybe you are selling at 50 shillings a kilo. So you see, you're also profiting. You're not just helping the farmer, but you're also doing something that
you're
is
also getting something for yourself.
A lot of people are doing that from their houses. Then they also connect to the transporters, so that by the time the vegetables are leaving Limuru, they are being delivered maybe in Kileleshwa. You are just in your house, but you are working. All you need is a phone, mobile, smartphone, or a laptop.
Awesome. So mumesikia una kazi? Commodity trading.
Kazi iko is just attitude. And when you talk of kazi, let me just add something. I really get inspired by these young men from Rwanda and Burundi. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yes. They're actually taking the...
They wake up at 5 with a bucket of kangumu and
onjugu.
Yes, onjugu. By 8 o'clock, they are back. Round 1 is finished.
Yes.
And then at 2 p.m., they are going back now for the afternoon. And these guys are organized. Nobody, you'll not see a crowd in one space. But you see now you want to sell your crisps here. Esther wants to be there. She wants to be there, so that you're all crowding here and you're all selling njugus. So we just need to be organized. Yes. And spread out. We should learn from them. And they say they're not going anywhere. This is their London. So if you're moving to London and leaving our country for other people, we are the ones who are fools. Yes.
Sasa as you've had, tufungue macho. Mwenye macho haambiwi. Yes. So serve the environment, and the environment will serve you back. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode where we were talking about climate change. Kwaheri.